coming up every 2 minutes. Teams can slow the game down on that particular map, but looks like we're ready to go in game 1 of this series.
All right then, guys, make some noise. Well, I would say make some noise in the chat, but you can't. You can only spam Kappas and so on and so forth. But there's a few people here, so they are making noise. There you go. We'll get some more mics live throughout the entirety of this weekend. Kicking things off then, game number 1, Wise taking on Era Eternity. Demon D will go down. A couple of kills there. 1, 2, 3 members of Wise. They're already dead.
Yeah, I love that from Sabonator. Straight off, right down bottom middle, get behind. You saw that Demon D was trying to defend that the camo, but no, absolutely denied. And this flag is already being ran. Baby J's got the camo to defend as well. Ground pound should put it in. Not quite gone in though. Just taken away right out of Kratos' hands.
That one player snatching it away, fair enough. He was already tanked up and did fall afterwards, but hell, he just managed to get the stopping. We'll see how this one plays out as there's several members in that base. Will they get the return? I think they potentially have. No, they haven't. And there you have it. It's going to be Kratos slamming that one in the back of the net. Era Eternity, they go up 1-0.
And you've always got to position yourself well in a situation like that. When the flag's just gone down, you need to make sure and you're communicating who's going to be putting that flag in. Who's alive, who's respawning. Kratos just died. He said, look, I'll grab it off spawn. You guys push out. You work on who needs to be dying and who we need to eliminate from this base right now.
Couple more kills kicking off. We'll see now. They're going to clear that base out, at least come back and fall back for a second. Now we'll see Cloud coming off the respawn, making an advancement over on Carside on his own. Checks top mid, which is absolutely fine, but unfortunately he's not top mid. That's the problem. He's going to be over at Carside as that player will be creeping out of the bubble. He will fall. We'll see where other people are going to be spawning off the side now as Nebula steps up to where Cloud was meant to be looking. At least now blocking off the entirety of that P side, Harry, and essentially boxing him into the base.
Yeah, and this is perfect really from Nebula. 2 kills in a row. He has to worry about these players flanking through basement. Not sure if he'll actually anticipate that, but this is what people love doing on this game type. Having assistance from top middle, especially when you're pushing in through that pink attic, you have so much height advantage on those players spawning bubble and coming back into the flag. As you saw right there, he got two in a row, but looks like Era doing a very good job staying alive in their own spawns and also pushing back into their base. Very well done from them, clearing their own base before pushing out.
Yeah, you called it perfectly, clearing them out, because they were getting set up. You could see 2 players, one on the P ramp, one up in P2 himself. So if they'd have managed to actually pull that flag and run towards the P side, they'd have had pretty much the entire bodyguard system. Double kill will come out of Commonly. He will get dropped down, which is fair play, because that player can now at least get his teammates off the respawn. However, while all this is going down, Sabonator is at least going to try and pull it. Will throw the flag out. Maybe a little bit questionable. Maybe he should have gone for the kill first rather than just trying to YOLO that flag.
Gotta say, 2 camos in a row. The first 2 of the game here actually for Baby J, and he really wasn't a player who wasted this camouflage last time round. The first time he had it, he got 2, 3, maybe even 4 kills for his efforts. So watch for this man not to work so aggressively with this. A lot of players like to play very aggressive and feel like they need to flank with this camouflage, but Baby J is one of those guys who will happily just get the jump on players with this new combo like we're seeing on screen right now, and he's picking up kills for his efforts as well.
And this all goes back to that play from Sabonator early on to get that control, to push behind the enemy lines, to make sure that camouflage was secured by his team. And you need to have a lot of confidence in your teammates to be able to make pushes like that. You've got to see how much these teams utilize bottom middle. It's something that you won't see necessarily from lower end teams or just your casual matchmaking teams. They'll be more than happy to push pink or push car. Bottom mid can be so strong in this game type.
Now, kind of what you just saw from Baby J there was a repeat of what we saw previously from the other team, just running in and grabbing that frag for absolutely no reason whatsoever. There's no point. There's 2 people alive in there. Don't bother pulling the flag. Don't bother. I mean, fair enough, we can sit here and question it all day long. Other things may have been going through his mind at the time, but you're just giving away a needless death.
Yeah, it was pretty pointless, especially when Baby J did have that camouflage as well. So this man may be a bit of a misplay, honestly. I did say before, he wasn't one of those players who likes to feel like he needs to force with the camouflage. Honestly, felt pretty forced from him that time round. So we'll see if he plays with that in the future. Honestly, it looks like the camouflage is coming up in around the next 10 or so seconds. So it was Baby J to grab the first 2. Let's see if he gets 3 in a row.
Kratos with the aggression. He will get dropped. Demon D getting caught with his pants down, but that doesn't matter because he's got Cloud behind him. Commonly's going to take out one also. Tixoxic now coming on the aggression. Grenades will go down. He does. He's tagged up one with the hit marker, so at least his teammate Nebula can come in straight off the respawn, end that flag run. In the meantime, the flag's coming across the map. Can someone get the return on it? He holds the ground pound steady for quite some time. His teammate gets the return. The flag's there. This could be a huge play coming out of Era. They're going to get the pull. Will they get the return? He's still there waiting for someone to grab it. I love the patience, though. He's got no shield. He's doing his duty. He's managed to stop them from touching it. The return will come in. What an absolute way to defend that flag.
And Commonly is on a tear right now. I think he just got a triple kill. Amazing return from those guys. Wise were forced into a position where they had to ground pound. They had to try and go for the cap. Hope the return came through, but it didn't. Era playing this perfectly, and now this looks like they should be able to get a second cap off the back of this.
3 camouflages in a row as well, by the way. It was Baby J to grab the first 2, and we saw Commonly right there with 1 as well. So 3 in a row for Era Eternity right here, and you can see they're 1-0 up in the game as well. So maybe that camouflage coming into play here in the scoreline.
Can we just take a moment to appreciate, I'm not entirely sure whose POV it was at the time, but that play to stop the flag, rather than diving onto the flag, which many people would normally do, oh, we got to go sit on it, we got to get the return here. Instead, no shields, angling the corner, using the the side of that base that he was in to keep himself alive, keep dinking players from in the corner and just keep them forced back off the flag.
Yeah, fairly certain that was Baby J actually. He's been playing very well so far this series. Obviously only here in game number 1, but that flag not quite returned. Will they get the touch here? Yes, they actually will. That's very well played from Kratos to get that last second touch. That's going to keep this flag alive. And now Era Eternity, they have something to work with. They do have a player in their own basement. That's Tizoxic, playing very sneaky and almost desperate that touch, so it's out in the open for his teammates to nade, and you can see why that's so important. Baby J does have the flag, he's just waiting on that return though.
Patience may pay off. 1-2 players though, they're all down in dead zone, bottom mid. Commonly's going to try and take out this. This will be a huge kill if that flag guy managed to at least try and get it a little bit further, which he does. One player that's going to be Kratos drops down on that. They're going to get the return. But on the opposing side as well, the flag did also get returned. So a little bit of a standoff, both teams going head to head here. I mean, this is non-stop action. I kind of want to say a little bit when you looked at the initial flag, it was fast and it was also messy. So fast, since then, this game has been neck and neck, boys.
So actually, first camouflage of the game here for Wise Gaming, and don't forget, they are the 2nd seed going up against the 7th seed right here, and they are down in this game against the 7th seed. So this camouflage, honestly, could be a catalyst for them back in this game, especially now there's 3 down for Era Eternity. This basement flank from Nebula right here might just be the thing they need. It will be taken out, but the flag does have an opportunity to move right here.
Look at Sabinator, though. He knows exactly where that flag's going, straight off the respawn. Dive bombing bottom mid, will get the stop, and now they're going to get the return. More importantly, it allowed his teammates, 3 of them were down, you saw the triple kill. It was a very long triple kill, so you know they were coming off the respawn shortly, but what an absolute stellar play.
An amazing play from them, but Era at the moment can set the pace. This is the big thing. They went 1-0 up and they said, okay, we can calm this down a little bit, we can play a little bit slower. If they start getting more aggressive, we can match that. We can go for the counter pushes, we can send someone bottom mid. We can just disrupt them, frustrate them. You've got to make sure you play into your opponent's heads.
And talking of frustration, that's exactly what Commonly's doing to Wise Gaming right now. He's been alive for so long, flanking basement, forcing them to spawn outside of the base, forcing them to come back. This is giving, honestly, without you guys knowing it, it's giving Era Eternity a lot of map control just by him blocking those spawns. Wise Gaming spawning Bubble knows there's going to be a guy in their base and they have to clear that out. Finally, he's taken down, but that was such a good, minute play right there from Commonly.
We call him the problem. He was causing them a problem. As you mentioned, Harry, he was there for a good 30 seconds, just pinning him back inside that base. Now they can finally, at least at the opposing side of Wise Gaming, push out, and that's what they need to do. They were trapped in there for so damn long. They've only got 3 minutes and 30 seconds to play with. And I tell you what, Era Eternity, they are not backing down. The slays from this team, the aggression, both teams playing each other off. Again, still think if they wouldn't have got that early cap, we'd definitely be going down to a tie and definitely going to an overtime, because at the moment, these two teams, they are playing neck and neck.
Well, yeah, because this was a cap that was made in the first couple of minutes, right?
Exactly.
It was all off that aggressive start, the start that's probably well-rehearsed, well-practiced, and they're able to be winning this game because of that. But now we get into the final few minutes where things start to get interesting. The pace is going to start to pick up. We see another camouflage being picked up by Demon D, unfortunately taken out by a grenade.
Ow.
If he had survived, that could have been crucial for them. You're going to see Wise step up the pace now. They're going to start sending people one by one. They need to keep their composure and really rely on team pushes, not just individual pushes.
One thing I love that Era is doing though, as soon as they feel the pressure in their own base, or even when Wise Gaming get just something like a camouflage on the board, they're constantly flanking Wise's basement and just making sure they're coming back. They're constantly applying pressure on the enemy team. I love what I'm seeing so far from Era, and if they keep this up for another 2.5 minutes, get the return, honestly, I can see them winning this game.
Sabinator just hot on the heels of that flag guy, at least managing to hold them back for a second while they can get it over to the opposing side of the map. Now we're in a standoff scenario. This is super, super important. Nebula, though, unfortunately will get caught off guard. A grenade will crack him in the face. Shields, he'll drop as well. Kratos down in the kill feed. He's going to pick that one up. Sabinator, Curse of the Caster, we jump on board with him. Down he goes. Also, 2 minutes left. This is coming down all the way to the wire, folks. 2 players inside the base. We've got Tizoxic up on P3. Needs to get this kill. Unfortunately, whiffs a few shots. Baby J coming in with a double. Commonly as well. That's a third. 3 members now of Wise. They are all dead. Demon D, though, trying to make something happen. Going to try and pull the flag out, which he does. Commonly picks up a double. 2-0. I think that's the nail in the coffee, boys.
It should be all she wrote unless Wise can band up together as a 4, get a nice push on the go, and get 2 back-to-back caps very, very quickly. I love what Era did, though. They had a decision in the last few minutes. They could either turtle back and they could try and defend this 1-0 lead, or they could just go and grab the flag and take the game.
I absolutely love this kind of unorthodox flag run right here. It's not often you see players running this carbine. You absolutely need someone doing what Commonly was doing right there, backing up and blocking those bubble spawns. This can honestly work out if they keep watching those basement spawns, but looks like Wise Gaming slaying out. They have 1 minute 10 left in this game to get at least a flag capture on the board to give them a chance. They need 2 to force overtime in 1 minute's time.
If they don't grab this in the next 10 seconds, that is GG. No real. We're moving into game number 2. I think that's all she wrote, ladies and gentlemen. Era Eternity just towards the end of this game. The aggression that these gentlemen have been pushing out, especially with the slaying press, we kind of saw from Commonly. Maybe 3 doubles in a row, back to back to back.
I mean, I'm not going to stop you there, but that's 2-1. We got 40 seconds left, and that's another flag being run as well, Sims. We need to be careful if we are Era here. We don't want to let this one get away because this flag's still moving. 30 seconds left. You've got Camouflage as well. Who's there to stop it? At the moment, there's 1 member. It's Baby J. It's all on him. Otherwise, this game is probably going to go to overtime.
Get it, boy! Oh, baby!
We have a game! 18 seconds remaining! And I tell you what, Wise Gaming, what a way to prove me wrong. That is amazing. Back-to-back flags in less than 45 goddamn seconds.
It was around 45 seconds, and the momentum is definitely in Wise's favor at the moment. Don't forget, 2nd seed in the open bracket. These guys are no joke, and it looks like, honestly, Era might have just rested on their laurels a little bit right there. I knew they were giving up the first capture, but you absolutely have to make sure you stop the 2nd run. But Wise Gaming feeding off this momentum right now. You can see definitely in their favor, and they're pushing for a 3rd game-winning capture right here.
That's the 5th kill in a row Tizoxic's got in the last 30 seconds. Back to back to back to back, just slamming at the moment Era into the ground. The pressure is well and truly on. And honestly, the cracking underneath it, the flag's moving once again. We're going to see Sabinator moving in. Look at how many people are on top of him. He ignores the player. He runs straight past him. They're trying to back this one in the back of the net. 2 players are going to try and deliver this one. They will get an easy push. They get the pull, the flag's out. Can they get the return? That's absolutely insane. Wise Gaming come back from 2-0 down, and they win that first map. Insane, boys.
What a way to start this series. Rich, you kind of were saying the game was over.
What?
Me and Harry were like, hold up a second.
I mean, it was. It was. You can't throw that game away if you are Era Eternity. 2-0 up with 1 minute to go. You cannot let that slip.
Let's look at these kills. Commonly, you mentioned it before, Harry. Commonly was absolutely playing out of his skull. 29 and 21. Pretty much neck and neck, even across the board when we look at those kills. 27 assists coming out of Cloud. Mr. Scotty too hotty, just helping his teammates out.
That is over 50 kills
Jesus.
he is contributing to. What a game from Cloud. 25 kills, the +5 spread with the 20 deaths, and those 27 assists as well.
Think how frustrated they would have been if they had lost that game. Looking at those stats, they knew they had got their slays in, they were doing everything right, but they just couldn't get a cap on the board because Era were defending so well. We saw how successfully they were able to get those flags back when they were pulled out, no matter how far they were taken out of the base by Wise. But what an incredible comeback from Wise. A shattering momentum for Era, and they've got to be careful now with the rest of this series. They cannot think about that game 1. They flat out need to forget it, straight up. Talk about it after the series.
I don't think you can.
You have to.
Honestly, I'd be triggered off the end of a cliff right now.
I would be triggered, definitely. And I didn't even notice they actually slayed all 4 of Era Eternity at the end of that game. So that flag capture, even though he was no shields, getting his shields back, he was in no threat because the only two Era Eternity players alive were coming off the respawn.
Era were always going to lose as soon as that second flag went in. The momentum was completely with Wise. You will be asking questions to your teammates. How has that happened? It's going to be playing in your mind. We had this game won with 40 seconds left. How did we throw it away? But those questions, they need to stop right now.
I can't believe it just seemed
Just quickly, before we move on to the next game, we have to give so much praise as well to Demon D, who we were on board with. The fact he was blocking the bubble spawns for the flag run to start in the first place, to follow the flag back because it's the last flag, but also to ignore that player card too because he knew his teammates had that guy covered. It was just perfect objective play and recognizing the situation. Great play from Demon D, great play from Wise Gaming, and they go 1-0 up in the series.
When we watched that final flag going in, all I could see in the kill feed was tis Noxic, tis Noxic, tis. It was like a row. I'm pretty sure it was almost a triple kill, and then it rolled into another double kill as well. 5 pretty much in a consecutive row. So all he was doing was, he was in a position, I'm not sure if he was up on P3 or just moving between top mid, but he was just slaying them literally off the spawn. Every time they would spawn, he was in their face, drilling them from up high, which allowed his teammates to then pull the flag, then move it. Even at the end, there was a player from Era Eternity trying to return the flag. The player who was running the final flag was like, nah, screw you fam, I'm just running. He didn't even get the beat down, he had no shield, he could have killed him. He was like, I'm bombing this in the base, boys.
When this happens, you get tunnel vision, right? When you're 2-2 and your flag's just been pulled for 3-2, all you want to do is return that flag. You're not thinking about Tizoxic top mid slaying you left, right, and center. All you're thinking about is how are we going to get this flag back? And that's where you get individuals pushing out one by one, trying to do what they can to return, but it's going to be game number 2. Slayer Plaza. How can we see Era return from this?
Okay, well, it's time to pretty much reset here, unfortunately, for Era Eternity because, well, you saw exactly what happened, folks. They were 2-0 up, and with 45 seconds left, they just lost the game. That should not have happened. We'll see if this kind of rolls on into game number 2. It's going to be Plaza Team Slayer. Now, composure, Dan, it's a big thing. And honestly, if I was Era Eternity, mine would be flying out the window.
Composure's a big thing, momentum is a big thing. We saw Era starting off very well in the previous game. It looks like they're still okay now. Their starting strats seem to be on point, but it's 3-3. Now, you've got to be looking at what players are going to be important in these situations. I'm looking at Kratos, a man who is very angry, and he can get upset about these situations. He needs to stay calm.
Speaking of Kratos, that was an absolutely horrendous play to give the sniper to Wise. You can't do that. If you get the sniper off the start of Plaza, the first thing you want to do is making sure you're rotating away from the enemies, not rotating towards them. So a free sniper pretty much gifted to Wise right there, and that honestly could come back to bite them if Nebula goes on a spree like he is right here.
Oh god, it's already started. Now, the most important thing about this, we've spoken about this before, Harry, when we play matchmaking, and you've kind of drilled me into it, and it's now something I do just naturally, is the rotation between top lift and top cafe. The most important thing is to make sure you've got your teammates with you. If you're going to move into cafe, there's got to be a player here, which he is. He's just up on the left. He's going to ground pound back so that player doesn't see him. Now he can guard people coming out of yellow. If they come out of there, they're just going to... Look, he can instantly back off, and he's got this defense waiting for him.
Yeah, this is actually a really nice setup here for Wise Gaming, honestly. It's a shame that Tizoxic went down right there on posters because they had them pretty much locked in Tram and Yard, and if you have the sniper in your possession here on Plaza Slayer, that's kind of where you want the enemy to be. Make them make a decision. Do they push the blue? Do they push out Tram? And if they push out either of those places, you've got to make sure your sniper is in a position to make those shots. Unfortunately, Nebula, though, does go down.
And when the sniper is in the opposition hands as well, you need to make that your priority. You either need to be avoiding it, or you need to find a way to take it down. I love what Era did. They pushed through the cafe, they made sure they were able to close down on the sniper. It's basically an objective when it's in your opponent's hands. You can't let it get out of control.
Yeah, slight side note in this game so far, first and second overshields of the game have been burnt. So no overshield, no power-up in play so far here on Plaza Slayer.
One player will get locked down in Hotel, thankfully. You mentioned about watching where that sniper rifle went. He did actually get left on the floor. No one picked it up, and I still don't... Oh, in fact, excuse me. No, color me wrong. Kratos has picked it up, and he has rotated around with it, trying to pick some faces and find some brains.
Rip.
And he's dead. That was rather unfortunate, so we're talking about that one. He will fall. So sniper rifle also falling now for Era Eternity. 9 minutes remaining on the clock, and only a 2-kill game here, ladies and gentlemen. This is game number 2. If you are just joining us, welcome along. This is your final game of the evening at DreamHack Atlanta. This is the Summer Season 2017 Live Grand Finals. Era Eternity taking on Wise. And if you just joined us, you missed A sterling performance. Oh.
Okay.
Cloudy Clouds got it too hotty. He's going to start trying to trigger a few more people because I'd be triggered after what just happened.
Oh, yeah, like getting into the mind of your opposition is huge here. I mean, touching upon what I said earlier about Kratos being quite an aggressive person, it's great to have if you're winning, having that person on your team that can build up your momentum with some loud calls and some shouting to your opposition, but it can be detrimental on your own team. I mean, throwback to when Kratos and Naded were on the same team. That was such a clash of personalities. But we are seeing at the moment Wise performing very well, 6-kill lead at the moment. I'm wondering how Era are going to get back into this because they've lost sniper control yet again.
Now, I want to touch on something you said there, Dan. Clash of personalities. However, they fed off one another. When you throw someone in, like, for instance, Denoxide, when we look back at Vegas, when you get these loud hype men, when you get these players that feed off of each other's energy, it just seems to work.
When you're winning.
When you're winning.
And when you're losing, that's when it gets really, really tough.
Yeah, speaking of losing, is Era Eternity losing at the moment, and the next Overshield's coming up, and it's going to be Kratos, the man we were just speaking about, to grab that one. So first Overshield of the game really in play at the moment, and honestly it's coming to Era Eternity's aid because you can see the score right now, they're down by 6. A power-up like this is definitely what they need, but again, Kratos not really using this to their best of their abilities.
Well, let's take a listen to the communication and see how things are going on over in Canberra. We do have an Astro listed. Let's dive on in with the team, have a listen to how things are.
Show them, guys. Another one posted.
Soda.
Only down 7. Only down 7.
Cafe sniping, guys. Only down 7.
One shot on my loop. One shot loop. Cloud. He's sitting back tram.
Main driveway.
Top glass.
Got top yellow. Top mid right now.
Top mid.
Top mid weak demon. They know I'm down here now.
Last and top mid snipe. He's sniping top yellow.
Flanking. I'm
S4.
flanking.
He's S4. Yeah, S4. Alright, there's 2 S.
Watch out. LR.
You guys need to push up and help out. Hear me. Weak on LR. One shot. Nice. It's
Top
one
yellow,
dead, guys.
guys. Top yellow. Already know. Top yellow. Look at
Sebi. He's low dip. He's low market.
Market still. Market one shot. Timing.
I'm trying to kill him. Hold on, Hammy.
I got him. Nice.
Get him top.
Dime. Soda. Kill me. Soda.
Soda's one shot.
Soda's absolutely. And bottom mid.
Watch out top side.
Another one Soda.
That's-
Bottom mid. On U-turn weak. Stop.
U-turn has a
Still
shot. Use
one.
the LR shot. I'm going snipe lift.
One shot at U-turn dead.
shot.
Another one Soda or something.
Snipe ramp weak.
Spawn yard.
Glass. On bottom mid.
Watch top
Watch
yellow.
out, bottom mid. Can someone look?
I'm
Blue
pushing.
shot side. You demon. Loop demon kind of weak.
He's still weak on market. Hit me. Low glass. I'm looking bottom. Go shot.
Got him.
Watch posters.
Play for sniper.
I'm on it. Soda's here somewhere, I think. I'm pushing out fearless. He's downstairs still.
Guys, top yellow, guys.
Prius.
On Soda. On
Sniping about
posters.
the top.
He's
Post on one shot.
jumping. Go to top mid. U-turn. He's on the umbrella. Just sitting there.
Guys, OS is 47. 47 OS. 10 seconds.
Market.
Hear me, OS.
Market's weak, guys. Market's weak.
Dip. This guy in dip.
I'm going to dip. He's in
Got it.
window.
Someone go for this OS.
47.
Slow. On LR.
OS now, guys. OS. Oh my god, nice.
Yes,
guys.
He's U-turn, guys. I am.
Don't die, kill me, man. I got a no scope on him. Kind of weak.
He's still there.
That was sniper.
He's still there. U-turn weak. They're pushing behind me, Loop.
I got him. I got U-turn. One shot on her.
I got him.
LR weak. Don't die. LR
Another one
weak.
top yellow. I hear you. And
Were you at a snipe?
I killed Loop.
Nice.
Nice.
I let Tony the blue snipe one. There should have been one back tramless.
They might spawn top snipe.
I got shots.
Yeah, top snipe.
Top snipe.
Yeah, he's walking the wrong
Where are
things.
they? Keep calling him out. He's just saying top snipe. Looking at you guys.
He's sniping. One shot. Another one there.
Cafe and then the top snipe.
Where's the
Push out blue.
My posters. Blue truck. 2 there. Posters weak.
Still one shot. Sitting down there.
Yard.
I'm getting
Look at me drops.
One shot dip. Kill me.
On Soda.
No help right now.
Soda's weak, guys. Soda's weak.
We're all fighting our own shit.
Soda's weak, guys. Soda's
Hotel,
weak.
man. Hotel right now. Hotel going. Snipe lift.
Help Hunter.
Snipe lift with sniper. Guys. He's gonna lift up.
Sniping top snipe, Carlos. Careful.
Where, Hunter? Where?
On Soda. On pressure, one shot. 2 on Soda. One shot. Tis.
I'm dying.
He went bottom LR.
I can die.
Really?
Where are they going?
On LR. Glass and Carlos, I think.
Alright, don't die.
I think Garden Ledge is
behind him.
Garden Ledge is weak.
Top yellow.
Top yellow.
Now, I've got to say, certainly things did get a little bit better when they managed to get, control of the OS, control of the sniper rifle. They have started to really bring this one back. They're now into a 4-kill scenario, excuse me. Dan, power up control, it's so vitally important on a map like Plaza, and it is showing right here.
It really is, and we saw a couple of times Sabinator as well with the sniper rifle getting caught out of position. Didn't really seem like he knew where he was going with it. He was kind of forced into awkward positions though, so I won't call him out for it. It was certainly just unfortunate positioning. But I've got to say, the Era squad didn't sound flustered. They sounded very calm, very collected, and communicating well, and just 4 kills make that 5 in it at the moment.
And this is the kind of point in the game where if you're Era and you're within 3 now, I mean, this is the closest it's been all game. This is the kind of area where you want to be slowing down and making sure you're getting this power-up right here. Perfectly played there from Era, forcing those players, baiting them into yard away from the overshield. That's going to allow commonly the problem to grab this one, and this is exactly what they need to get right back in this game.
I don't think it'll be the problem after this one. Creeping around, playing passive. There's the beatdown on 1. We'll close the gap by 1 more as well. We were at 4, now we're at 3. Count this one down, 43 to 46, but time is of the essence. 3:20 remaining on the clock. Here comes the push. The bait as well. The bait and switch. Move forward. Thrust back. Hopefully one of these. Look at this though. He's going to creep up behind. Drops through the window. Binds through them. What an absolute god play. One will challenge through the window. Now it's a 1-kill game. Commonly playing this like a madman.
That's exactly how you should be playing with Overshield. Aggressively flanking. That was so well played. The bait and switch with the player just kind of playing the radar. And now look, there's 2 players trapped down at snipe lift. We're about to hit 49 for Era despite them being down the entirety of this game.
What an absolute stellar play by Commonly. Sabernated's got the sniper. He's looking to finish this one off. But I tell you what, if they wouldn't have grabbed the OS and Commonly wouldn't have played it like he did, we wouldn't have been in this position now where they can pretty much all just push, try and get 1 more kill. There you have it.
He got 2.
Eternity.
51. He got 2 with the cluster luck.
The man's a magician.
Baby J with the double with 1 nade. They technically got 51 kills. I'm counting it.
Yeah? You let him have it?
I'll give him that.
What a response from Era, can I just say. I mean, they were 5 kills down just as we came out of that listening and we were saying how important is the power weapon control, the power-up control. Instantly we see that overshield from Commonly. But I want to shout out Kratos as well. He was getting some really important kills towards the end of that game. Just with his last bullet, when he was dying, he was always taking someone with him, making sure he was getting a trade. Really good performance from Era, as we can see now, the stats on your screen as well. 14 in 10 for Sabernator. He had that sniper at the end, there was a lot of responsibility for him, but thankfully someone was able to pick up a kill. A much needed game for them to get.
I can't believe how much, I mean, that is almost as much of a comeback as what we saw previous on the last game. And fair enough, I mean, it was a bloody big comeback from being 2-0 down to being 3-2 within less than a minute. But they were down by at least 10 kills at one point, and all of a sudden when they started taking control, you know, you could hear in the back showtime, OS up in 47 guys, you've got to make sure you get it. When they started taking control of these power-ups, then the game changed, then the game slowed down, and it started becoming more of an Era Eternity show.
The man on the left of your screen played that last overshield
It was
really,
insane.
really well. I mean, working together with his teammate, I'm not too sure who it was. I think it might have been Kratos on his team, working with him and just baiting those players. They had them all trapped in blue and around that kind of flowers area. Playing the radar is so important in that kind of situation. Make them waste their nades so the choke points on the map aren't being, you know, bombarded with those explosives, and it just allows your overshield player to make unorthodox flanks like that. And I just got to commend the play once again. That really spurred them into getting that commanding lead, and then from that point on, they were within 2 of winning the game. I mean, it was just really, really well played from Era right there, and then right back in this series.
Yeah, that ending was phenomenal from them, really. The way they swarmed, the way they pincered in Cathay, and then they pushed as well towards that sniper spawn was absolutely incredible. It was an unfortunate position for Wise to be in. They couldn't have done much except back themselves into a wall and hope they could out-aim their opponents. But unfortunately, they were outgunned, they were outmanned, and now we're at 1-1, and this series is really kicking off.
All right then, guys, let's bring up the series layout right now to show you people who are just tuning into this epic matchup exactly how things have been playing out and how we currently stand. Our first match, obviously, 3-2. What an absolute roller coaster that was. Now we see a comeback out of Era Eternity. They're going to win game number 2, 50-47. Wise Gaming taking game 1, Truth capture the flag, 3-2. Find ourselves on Eden Strongholds, and the one thing we are going to at least definitely see for sure is a Fathom CTF. And honestly, with these two teams, I'm expected to see Coliseum CTF also. Assuming Slayer.
Coliseum Slayer, definitely. But the next up is Eden Strongholds, one of those game types, again, that can kind of change and flip-flop every 2 minutes with the Rockets, Camouflage, and Overshield all spawning at the same time on this one. So this is where coaches really come into play, right? Where you have to be on top of both power-up timings. Obviously, the Rockets coming up every 2 minutes on the dot. When you grab the Rockets, you're pretty much going to be guaranteed the overshield if you make the play on it, but the camouflage is often what teams kind of forget about on this map, and that's really the counter to the overshield. So if you don't get the rockets, you've got to make sure you get that camouflage to make sure you can take down the enemy player that's more than likely going to have the overshield as well.
All right then, rock and roll. Strongholds on Eden. First team to score 100 points will be your victor. We got an OS in play, we got a camo in play. Let's see how this one plays out. I'll tell you what else I believe we have in play. I believe we might have a very cheeky platinum pack. There it is,
baby!
Eden 78. Get yourself over Halo.gg now. Get yourself one of those all-new platinum rep packs and bang in Eden 78, and that will be applied to your account.
So what's interesting, actually, both of the power-ups going in favor of Era. So not only did they win the last game, they're definitely winning the momentum battle so far in this game. It was Sabinator to pick up the camouflage, and commonly, despite him being melted, to grab the first overshield of the game.
And I love what you touched on about coaches and how they're important in this game type. Not only about calling out when these power-ups and when these power weapons are coming up, but ordering, prioritization, really important here. You need to know what is important for your team at the current moment. You might want to ignore a camouflage and go for an overshield at certain points. You really need to be on the ball. You need to have good synergy with your coach so that they know how the team is playing and what the team needs in that certain
So not only did Era get both of the power-ups, they also got the rockets in the hands of Baby J. So watch out for him in the kill feed to pick up a couple of slays and make sure his team can get back in this game. Because so far, it's actually been Wise Gaming with the majority of the scoring.
Quite a little bit of a, I want to say a slow game, so to speak, but as you mentioned, it's kind of Wise who are definitely in the driving seat. Finally, we'll see Era making something happen and starting to take some time on the board. Blue Bend will get snowy. What? I'm talking absolute rubbish. Commonly comes in, saves the day with a double, back himself some free rockets, and he'll at least secure that blue corner. Also, Red Nest probably going to get taken. Rocket comes in, and that's 2 yellow ones.
EU rockets.
Now, even though that was a bit of a whiff of a rocket and a play from Commonly, I like what he did. He didn't reload straight away. He instantly threw grenades because he got the call out to the team where they were going to be pushing. He knew how impactful those grenades could have been. Unfortunately, it didn't work out how he wanted them to, but still a decent play.
So this is the first cycle of power-ups coming up right now. The rockets are up in 1 second. Looks like Commonly and his team do have that turbine control, but the tower control and that camouflage definitely in the favor of Wise Gaming. So wouldn't be surprised to see those guys pick up that particular power-up, but it's Kratos with the rockets, who's just taken down, actually. It's going to be Nebula to grab the overshield, and now Demon D is going to rotate around here for the camouflage as well. So we could see rockets, camo. Oh no, actually it was Baby J to grab camouflage, but rockets and overshield in the hands of Nebula right here for Wise Gaming, and total control for them too.
The most important thing, what's kind of led them to this total control as well, when you've been watching the kill feed, it's just being filled with Wise players, just dropping Era left, right, and center. That's all we keep seeing.
Oh,
dear.
No!
Well,
Camo 1, overshield 0.
you don't like to see it. Well, you do like to see it happen on occasion.
Oh, I love it.
And the best thing is that he just sits there and his body just flashes screen just to let him know exactly how it all went down. Baby, I tell you what as well, trigger patience there. Rather than waste the rocket, take the beat down, save it, because we know if you don't whiff them like Commonly did, that's an insta kill.
You know what's so awesome about that play, actually? We saw Baby J grab the camouflage, and he was so close to dying. So him escaping with that camouflage has really changed the game, but it's changed the game once again, as Demon D now will actually have the rockets that Baby J acquired off the overshield player. So both teams kind of trading this weapon around. Neither team really want to control the rockets so far here on Eden, as Demon D might just make a play to surrender them as well, but he will stay alive, get the kill in the end. Kratos with a double might just help Era Eternity back into this game. 30 seconds until the next power-ups come up.
I absolutely loved Zoxic's position there, because he knew they were pushing up onto Catwalk. He kind of fell back rather than just die needlessly. He died to at least take one with him, which kind of allowed Cloud to apply the pressure. Fair enough, they're taking back Catwalk. Here comes Kratos on the aggressive push. Cloud will fall. That's going to be 7. Excuse me, no, it's not. Actually, yes, in fact, it was who actually took him down. He's going to sit over here and plant himself inside Red Nest. More importantly, he's going to be a bit of a magnet. They're all being drawn to him. His teammates can move across the map. They can rotate around. They can take Catwalk. They can move into Blue Bend. And he's just been a nuisance sitting here.
And I like what you said about not dying needlessly as well. This is why Wise are currently winning this game. They're making sure they survive. They're getting away. They're not putting themselves in stupid situations as Sabinator picks up a massive double.
That is a massive double, because he rotated from Red Nest. Despite Wise having the turbine control for the rockets and overshield, he rotated all the way around and grabbed these with a double away from the enemy team. Great play from Sabinator, and that honestly could get them right back in this game.
Demon D just got wrecked, and that's with a Q also. Remember that Platinum Pack still is ongoing. Cheeky beatdown from Sabinator. Baby J will save the day. Comes in, puts a bullet between his eyes. He'll be dropped as well. Commonly down on Demon D. Demon D take. In fact, they're a nice little trade-off at least. Sabernator is going to be passive for a second. They do have 2 plots, Harry. However, look at that time. 19 points to 80. That's a bloody big mountain to climb, boys.
It most certainly is, and this is a big play right here. He can't quite make it happen, though. Yeah, a bit of a misplay right there, surrendering the rockets as well to the Wise Gaming side. And
the trouble is, when you are this far behind, you have to go for those risky plays to try and get back into the game. Of course, if you do get total control and you play flawlessly, you can make comebacks. We've seen comebacks happen before, time
game one.
Exactly. You never give up, you never surrender, all that jazz. But at the moment, Wise, they're just surviving so well. They're making sure they're not popping out. They're not giving easy fights to Era. You can see they're partnering up so well. They're buddying up. They're keeping an eye on each other. And this should be a game to Wise unless we see a significant change in momentum for Era here.
I mean, they're all kind of turtled up together, which is absolutely fair play, but they're not keeping an eye. Over on this high ground. Oh, yeah, there you go, exactly. Nebula were just creeping around. He read it like a book, knew the player was there, didn't sprint anywhere, didn't appear on the radar, and now, from him doing that, he can allow his teammates to spawn with him, and once again, they'll apply pressure to this blue band. They're going to secure that one, and I think, dare I say it this time, and actually potentially be right. No, don't do it. I've been told don't do it.
Careful. Yeah, you can never count a team out.
That, didn't I?
You definitely
I'm taking full responsibility. You know what? I'm actually happy about it. I don't care.
Very big kill, actually, there from Kratos. The perfect to kill the player in tower. All 4 down, though, for Eternity. That, honestly, looks like that should really be game this time round, as Cloud and the boys are pushing Red Nest. Great shots to take down Baby J as well, but this really should be the game, as they will have Blue Bend and Red Nest in their favor. Looks like it's going to be players to try and get Red Nest back, but I think it might just be too little too late, as Wise Gaming will take the game.
Tick-tock goes the clock, 2-1. Once again, they are back in the driving seat, but they've been here before, and we have seen Era Eternity tie up the series. Anything's possible. This is the best of 5. We could still potentially see that happen. We'll bring you the kill feed up in just a second, because I believe the man, the myth, the legend, Demon D, going off once again on the main stage. 17 kills, 8 assists, 10 deaths. That's 7 more than anybody else on the board. Excuse me, 6 more than anybody else on the board.
Yeah, that's really the standout stat line in that column. I want to check out who was doing the most objective work as well. Baby J and Nebula doing the heavy objective work on their team as well. The stronghold defenses as well from Nebula. Really the objective beast for this team, and they really helped them win the game 132 by defending those strongholds as well as capturing them as well. So really nice play there from Nebula, in my opinion. One of the MVPs alongside Demon D, who's putting up the slates.
Any particular kind of, when we look at how all that one went down, I mean, we definitely saw some EU rockets coming out of certain individuals. We did catch that.
That's also me dancing, apparently.
That's nice. I like that.
This is weird.
Anyway, if you ever want to know how someone casts a game of Halo, that's how it happens, right there.
I didn't even notice that out of the corner of my eye, you know.
What were you actually doing? It actually looked like you were grinding against him.
There was some music going on, so I was kind of having a jig, enjoying myself. I'm back with Halo. I'm having fun, man. I mean,
I'm uncomfortable.
Damn production. I wasn't expecting that.
Make sure you wash that out when you get back to the hotel room, all right?
I will.
Yeah, we don't know where that young boy's been. But if you are joining us, guys, thank you so much. We're having a lot of fun right here. This, of course, is a big, big matchup. Era Eternity taking on Wise Gaming, your number 2 seed in the open bracket. There's a lot to play for, and I tell you what, so far we've had some roller coaster matches. Look, I get over that game of one. That was, I mean, colour me shocked. Compared, I thought it was over. How many games do you see it where there's 45 seconds left, 1 minute remaining, and you get 3 flags in 45 seconds?
It's not often you see it, definitely. I think you were well within your rights to say that that game was over, because it should have been. But just great plays again coming out of Wise, and that really sets us up for the rest of the series. I mean, you look at game number 2, which Era bounced back in this series. I mean, that was within 3 kills of going either way. So, you know, I honestly think Fathom Flag right here could be a real nail-biter as well. I think we'll see a very close game. Again, these 2 teams seem very evenly matched and well matched up here in this game.
The only thing I'm noticing a little bit better from Wise is they're picking their battles a lot better. They know their plan of attack. They seem to have a better game plan. I don't know if that's coming from themselves as a team, coming from the coach behind. Their ordering and their prioritization was massive in that game. They knew exactly what power-up they wanted to go for and what time. I mean, I know we saw a camo onto an overshield at one point as well that kind of swung the game back in the favor of Era, but Wise, they were just on top of everything.
Well, we'll see if they can get on top of this one in the series and complete it with a 3-1 win Fathom CTF is going to be potentially your 4th and final game of tonight, unless Era Eternity once again can seal the deal and tie up the series. They've done it before. Anything's possible with these two teams. And we did say that Game 5 is absolutely more than possible. Here comes the aggressive push, though, moving out of that. 1, 2, 3 players. Look at this, all spread across. One taking control of top mid, one diving in the base, one taking control of bottom mid, the other one coming straight off the respawn. Exotic with the railgun trying to stay alive. He's going to fall down in pit. And this could be a big one. Camo and Railgun, which player's that? Sneaky, sneaky beaver. It's going to be Baby J, tags up one, looking for the second. Flag's on the move. He's in an absolutely bloody good position here to be the bodyguard and help that transverse back into his base.
As we say that, though, it was actually Commonly who was running the flag. He was taken down right before the flag goes in. So now this flag actually can be moved by Cloud himself from Wise Gaming. So this honestly could be a counter cap right here.
And we saw another early push from Era. They tried to go bottom mid, and unfortunately it was just thwarted this time. It wasn't able to happen. Wise were well aware of what could happen. Era able to pick up the railgun, but not able to do too much with it. And now we're seeing this flag move. Doesn't look like there's anyone to stop it as well. So a nice early lead for Wise. We've seen Wise come back in Capture the Flag games, but how are we going to see them maintain a lead?
Very rare you also see a player, when they're about to die outside in the courtyard, will opt to run through the garage. Fair enough, it was a little bit unlucky because as Cloud threw that final flag before he died, it hit the roof of the garage and stayed out kind of in the open. But it's very, usually you always see people trying, okay, get it in the courtyard, then it's open, it's out in the open, we can at least try and do something with it. We're going to see a counter cap. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, that's too far gone. 1-1 all of a sudden. But talking more about what Cloud did, moving it towards that garage side, giving his teammates cover so they come off the respawn, grab it straight away, put it in the back of the net. They got this one, but all of a sudden we just saw Era. They've tied it up once again. 10 minutes remain on the clock, Harry, 1-1 apiece.
Yeah, 1-1 apiece, almost definitely Sims. I mean, this game so far has been just so great. I mean, it's not surprising we're seeing in this Fathom Capture the Flag, these two teams going back and forth. Baby J's playing very well so far this game. I mean, 3 down once again. I do believe the flag is close to being on the move. In fact, no, they're still fighting for a little bit of map control right here. And Baby J, with these slays as well, is maintaining this top control, and as a result, rewarded with the camouflage. But watch out for Tizoxic, who was just taken down in the kill feed by Kratos. He did have the railgun.
He just seems like one of those players that naturally will, in matchmaking, be the guy that always goes for the power-ups, always goes for the power weapons, because in every single series I've almost seen him on top, being the guy picking up every single OS, every single camo. Second time in a row, he has not only the camo, but the railgun 2 down.
It's a lot of responsibility, though, when you do pick up these weapons. You've got to have someone on your team that is willing to do so because of the pressure that's on your shoulders. Baby J with a 1 railgun shot, but he needs to do something here. You can see he's waiting for his teammates to join him before he makes a move. He doesn't want to throw away the railgun willy-nilly. He wants some support before he moves in, and here we go. The attack is happening now. They're going to be moving in, trying to go for a flagpole, and the cavalry arrive perfectly from Baby J. Very good patience.
But a very good play from Tizoxic to stay in there, not go yolling around. Fair enough, he died, but in him doing so, being there and stalling for so long, it's allowed his teammates to come off the spawn and push back into the base. Potentially, they may be able to clear this one out. They're getting a pull in it, they're going to move it. Oh, it's a bit of a decent setup. They got 1 over top mid. They got 1 hiding down in the garage. That is going to be 2-1 as Commonly slams this one in.
Yeah, Commonly and Kratos have been playing very, very well objectively this game. I mean, we saw Baby J just kind of stalling the other team, like you said, Dan, just waiting for the cavalry to arrive. But as soon as Commonly or Kratos get in the enemy team's base and they get at least 1 kill on the board, their immediate objective is to run that flag. And once again, Commonly picking up a kill. That first kill might help them to move this flag, but the Slay's coming in as well to support the objective work here for Era. Bodes well for them to win this game. They're up 2-1. The new railgun's coming up in 5 seconds. And watch for both teams to fight around both tree houses and top middle for this new camouflage coming up right now as well.
Tac Mag and Light Rifle. Going to check his corners. Grenade goes down. No hit markers found. He will at least get a beat down off that one player. Kratos finding the railgun down bottom mid. Gets his shields back. No, he does not. He gets tagged up and dinked. He's going to fall. So that railgun will transverse into the hands of someone over on Wise. Baby J, though, once again, look at what he's got. He's got a camo, boys. On point, on time, every single time. He's checking for this final player. He knows where he is. Runs up top mid. This potentially could be 3-1 moving into game number 5. Commonly, great play from him. We'll throw that out in the open. Baby J seals the deal on that last player. All lies on these two, whether or not they can get a pull, which they can. Commonly's going to get it into the back of the base. Tiz, though, is in between a rock and a hard place. Look at that. The Hounds are hungry. 3-1.
Game 5.
Woo! Game 5's coming,
Baby.
and it's all thanks to Baby J at the end there. Wise had thought they cleared out the whole of Era, and they started pushing in. Baby J was there waiting top mid, just picking them off one by one. We wanted a Game 5. I think this series deserved a Game 5.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
exactly where we're heading.
I love the play staying up top and maintaining the height from Baby J at the end. When you know the enemy team has to desperate, when it is the final flag, when you know they have to straight line your base to get a pull, they're not going to think about getting height. They're going to be thinking about their main priority is getting to your base and pulling your flag. So by Baby J staying up high right there, I mean, we saw him just raining down bulk shots on players and just taking them all by surprise. Really nice play. Honestly, MVP for me has got to be Baby J, but Kratos and Commonly as well doing really solid objective work in that game. And that was a quick one for Fathom, only 5 minutes.
Most kills, least deaths, camo. Baby J was the absolute MVP of that match, and without a doubt, a huge factor in why Era Eternity are pushing this one to a game number 5. We're about to get this one underway, guys. For the final time tonight, this is your last match, last series of Friday. The clock is about to stroke into Saturday as we are approaching midnight. Apologies for those around the world that are watching at different times, and it is becoming a late one. But thank you to everybody who has stuck with us throughout Friday. Again, we are going to make amends on Saturday. Clean sheet, start again, reset, away we go. Game 5 though, boys. Who's your money on? Come on, put your money where your mouth is. And we'll also, while we're doing this, bring the series layout just to show you how Game 5 will be playing out.
Colosseum Slayer, Dan.
Yeah, like I'm a momentum man, so naturally I'm leaning towards Era Eternity, but Colosseum Slayer does scare me a little bit. I think I'm going to go for Era Eternity. I think if I had to choose, looking at how Commonly's playing at the moment, looking at how Baby J is playing at the moment, Kratos, Sabinator, they're all chipping in and working well as duos. I'm going to go for Era Eternity.
I think we could be in for a close one again. I mean, looking back at that Plaza Slayer, another one of those game types where your decision-making has to be on point. Colosseum Slayer is a very similar game mode. You have to make sure you're getting the rockets every 2 minutes and the sniper every 3. If your decision-making is on point in terms of where to push and when for those weapons, like Era Eternity's was in game number 2 in Plaza Slayer, I see them taking this game, and I'm with you, Dan. I see Era taking this one, despite them being the lower seed in this match.
Well, just because I have severe OCD and I actually like the pattern of red, blue, I've got to go with Wise just to continue that
That's
pattern.
some really nice analysis.
You like
right
it, yeah?
there.
Just
really
to make
good. Top tier.
Top tier. Yeah. He's going to go red, blue, red, blue.
Okay.
There you go.
All right.
I mean, disagreeing with us is usually a good way to go about things.
Well,
You're probably going to be right.
I mean, I've got a 50-50 chance, let's be honest.
Exactly.
You know, it's a 1 in 2.
Yeah, I'm happy with your decision. But to be honest, I mean, we're backing Era Eternity, but we've seen Wise when they're on fire and when they have the momentum behind them, they play phenomenally. We talk about game 1 when they were 2-0 down. As soon as they actually got a little bit behind them, we saw a completely different team than we'd seen previously in that game. If we can see that same team come out in game number 5, if they can get ahead, if they can get a nice chunk, maybe 10, 15 kills ahead, and really carry that momentum through the rest of the game, perhaps we can see Wise take this.
All right then, gents, let's kick some ass and seal the deal on this final match of tonight. Starting things off with Sabinator's POV, like the play, back off for a second, use the thrust, because the times you will always walk up onto rocket ramp and just get laid out with a face full of grenades. It happens quite often. 1-2 members of Wise there will drop straight off the bat. Sabinator, though, allowed to pick up rockets. There's the grenades that we were talking about. He's going to die.
This is actually the perfect start from Era Eternity. I mean, they've already won the last game, Fathom. They got the rockets off the start with Sabinator, and Baby J killed Tizoxic, who picked up the snipe initially off the start, but now Demon D from Wise Gaming has the rockets, and Tizoxic has the snipe back in his possession as well. So it's really going back and forth. Both teams fighting over both power weapons. Looks like both of them now actually back into the hands of Wise Gaming.
There we go. Interesting turn of events. We kind of saw at the start. Both power weapons going into the hands of Era Eternity. Then all of a sudden, both of them dying, transferring back into the hands of Wise, and now rockets move back to Era. So back and forth with these power weapons. 8 and 7, the current scoreline, 1 minute in. I can see this one being a super, super close game. I think we should definitely get a listen, if we can, sorted with Wise Game. We've not heard the guys over on Wise, the BT8 squadron, kind of hear how the old communication's going down. Yeah,
communication is really important, and something else quickly to touch upon, fatigue. Now, not just in a best of 5 when you get to this situation, but we've been here all day since, like, what, 9, 10 a.m. These players are going to start to get tired. They would have been playing a ton of games today. They would have been trying to get as much practice as possible. they really need to focus now. This is it. This is to get to winner's bracket round 6. The good stuff. You don't want to be falling to that elimination bracket to be playing in tomorrow. You want to be able to have a chance at facing off against those teams in relegation.
The good stuff, the juicy stuff, that's what we like to see. And what else we like to see is TixOxic going off with the sniper rifle, but unfortunately that's not going to happen. His life will be ended by Baby J. That sniper will move into the hands of Sabinator. Also, Demon D rotating round, 2 of them moving out of the base. They need to be extremely careful. I like the play from Comley though, Harry, to sit back. I'm
really surprised that Demon D actually dropped down right there, especially with the rockets coming up. I mean, why not just try and maintain a little bit of height right there? But
this
is
why
why have the jump on Commonly, and this really could help his team secure the rockets. Commonly has to worry about this player instead of the rocket player. But Commonly, oh my lord, comes back with a reversal. Oh my days.
Demon destroyed. Triple kill comes in. Commonly looking for the over. He's got 2 people in the corner.
Baby!
Overkill! Down they go. Line them up. Commonly drops them 1 by 1. 19-12. Era Eternity are on fire, Dan.
Wham bam, thank you ma'am, and it all started from that turn onto Demon D as well. We were saying, okay, yeah, we understand he's trying to get the jump, but Commonly, absolutely fantastic precision aim to win that battle despite a grenade, catching him in the toes just previously, and he is on a tear right now. If he continues this momentum, maybe we're going to see Era going through to winners bracket round 6.
I'll tell you what, he is a problem right now. He is a serious problem for Wise Gaming because he is just taking a dump on all 4 of these players. Still alive, still on this spree, 24-15, DMR in hand. He's just going to peek and creep. I like the play. There's no need to get aggressive now, up in the face and start giving away needless deaths. They're working as a team.
And the worrying thing is, now if you're Wise, you're scared of Commonly as well. You don't want to face him, you don't want to challenge him, you know he's on fire and he's going to be hitting his shots, but they've also got to worry about that sniper as well in Sabinator's hands. There's so much for them to think about, and look at this aggression from Sabinator as well. He knows his team is closing in, and bam! Takes out Cloud as well. It looks like Era are really on a tear right now.
Cloud. See you later, my friend. Press F to pay respects. He is dead. Absolutely deleted from the server. Sabinator still going to hang around. He's hungry for more. Tags up 1. Gets the kill as well. Nah, this is... Stop it. They're already dead.
I'm wondering how Wise are going to get back into this, and realistically, they need to slow it down ever so slightly. They need to stop this momentum from Era because they're just pushing in. Every time Wise are spawning, an Era player is constantly rotating behind them, catching them off the spawn, and then the rest of the cavalry come through, and they are just pincering them so successfully at the moment that they are really running away with this game.
It's momentum. I think it's over. I mean, I've got this before and I've been completely and utterly wrong, but the momentum has just got to them. They've cracked them. Era Eternity, they know that they have the weapon. They have the map control. More importantly, it just feels, you kind of called it perfectly, Dan. You're looking at Wise, they look scared. They're turtling back into bases. They're not moving forward. They're not together. Look over this, one player on the corners on his own. A fireworks sent across, just tries to hit him with a missile across the map, but why not? Just do what you can. The boys are broken, and at the moment, they're just finishing them off 1 by 1.
I've seen games like this thrown away before. Now, I'm not even talking about the Couch Flag games, Slayer games. If you think you are so far ahead that you can play very silly, as a killing frenzy comes through from Commonly, he's certainly not playing silly at the moment, and you're completely right. Wise should be scared of him. Now he has a sniper rifle in his hands as well. 12 more kills required. Era do need to be careful. They can't push too much and allow Wise to get back into this game. They can afford to slow this down. Wise are the ones who have to make the move. And they can say, yes, we can slow this game down. We can have a slow game because we have the power weapons.
2 people down low. They're all trapped in. Fair enough. They'll at least transfer 1 back and get a kill. Baby J answers them though from up high. Commonly comes in. Clean up crew. Sniper rifle in hand. He's not going to challenge that carbine because it's a disgustingly powerful and a disgustingly accurate weapon across map. He'll back off. I like the play. Why give away so many bullets? Will go for the double no-scope. Doesn't land either of them, but at least still stays alive. He's still on this spree. Finds 1. Misses the shot. Will rotate back also, hiding down in maze. That player doesn't know where he is. Doesn't matter whatsoever. Sabinator's got his back. Takes down Cloud. They only need 6 more kills, boys.
And finally, Commonly goes down as well. You can see he was desperate to stay alive, but that does mean the sniper rifle goes into the hands of Wise now, and a lot rests on the shoulders of TixOxic to try and get them back into this. Needs to position themselves with his teammates. They need to communicate. They need to be picking off 1 by 1, and they need to do exactly what Era just did to them. And TixOxic, now he's showing his skills with the sniper rifle.
That's disgusting. The quick scope to take down Kratos, who had the rockets, they could really get back into this game, you know. Cloud has a sniper in his back pocket. Tizoxic on our screens has one too. If they find the rockets that Kratos just dropped with that snipe from Tizoxic, and Tizoxic keeps doing this, they really can get themselves back in this game. The question is it too little too late? Only 6 deaths left to play with. Otherwise, this series is over.
But they do have the time, and as you mentioned, it's all about do they have the patience. It's all about
Oh no.
No, that was no. That
Can't do that.
with rockets, man. With rockets, a little bit unfortunate because they had the power weapons in play. They had 2 players moving across, and now we're just going to see picking faces from across the map, and this just got a little bit harder. That was, oh man, that was so.
And then Sabinator is just trying to get aggressive here. 2 more kills left. He was like, let's just finish this off now. He tries to lure a couple of players out from Wise whilst doing so. 8 kills in it, but now this is such a power position for Era that should be able to pick this skill up. 1 more left to take this series, Sims.
Push, push, push. We cannot lose this. You can just dive bomb them. You can just throw your bodies at them. So long as you pick up one and get a trade off for it, it's GG, no re. Potentially seeing Wise Gaming sent to the elimination bracket. Here Eternity, they smell blood, they smell the win. One's trapped in cave. Kratos, I believe he's got his number as well. I'm hearing bullets in the background. There it is, Baby J. We are seeing some serious words shouted across over on the main stage. And I tell you what, boys, compared